ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयं मुदीरयेत्। In this session, we continue to discuss from the 19th verse of the 17th chapter of the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. This is part 4 of the discussion. In the previous 3 sessions, we discussed Karma Mimamsa philosophy of Jaimini, and then the atheistic Sankhya philosophy of the atheist Kapila in the part 2. And part 3, we discussed the Kanada Rishi's atomic philosophy. Now we are going to discuss the 4th philosopher, Patanjali Rishi. You have heard his name. He is the one who teaches the Yoga Sutra, the Ashtanga Yoga system. So, Srila Prabhupada explains, philosophers following the precepts of Patanjali Rishi practice Raja Yoga, Hatha Yoga, Raja Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga. They imagine a form of the absolute truth within many forms. That is their process of self-realization. They imagine some form inside, and they simply want to concentrate completely on that form. And when they are able to absorb their mind completely in meditation on that imagined form, they think they have reached the perfection of self-realization. But it is explained in the Vedanta philosophy by Vyasadeva, who is actually giving the understanding as coming in parampara from the Supreme Lord, who is explaining the perfect understanding of the Vedas, of the Upanishads. He is presenting the truth, the absolute truth, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, as the ultimate goal of all processes of knowledge. Vedaischa sarvair ahameva vedyam. Krishna says this in the Bhagavad Gita. From all the Vedas, it is ultimate goal of all the Vedas is to know Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Krishna only is giving the Vedic knowledge in the beginning of creation. Tene Brahma Hrudaya Adi Kavaye Muhyanti Yat Suraya. And Krishna only is the ultimate controller of all controllers, the supreme master of all the living beings, the topmost well-wisher, Suhurdam Sarva Bhutana, Sarvaloka Maheshwaram, Bhoktaram Yajnatapasam. Everything is explained clearly in the Bhagavad Gita. But still there are some different philosophers who put forward their own theories. So let us try to understand the defect in their philosophy. Patanjali Rishi, he is talking about a process of meditation. So first yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. There are 8 steps. And these 8 steps, beginning with yama and niyama, for actually being able to come to the stage of being able to meditate on that imagined form within the heart or within the mind, the Ashtanga Yoga process or the Patanjali's Raja Yoga process says some yama, niyama, don'ts and do's. Don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this, and do this, do this, do this, do this. So many restrictions are there. So Krishna also explains in the Bhagavad Gita 6th chapter that one has to actually control the mind, and for control of mind one has to abstain from all types of sense gratification, external gross sense gratification. Withdraw the mind from sense objects. So that is described in the 6th chapter briefly by Krishna. But Patanjali Rishi has written a very great detailed explanation for all this process of Raja Yoga or Hatha Yoga, that one goes to a secluded place, Shuchau deshe pratisthapya stiram masanam atmanaha nachutritam natinicham chailajina kushottaram. Krishna is also briefly described in 6th chapter, 11th verse, 12th verse, 13th verse, etc. So ultimately, for being able to sit down for meditation, and it takes a long time to meditate and come to the stage of samadhi, total absorption in the object of meditation. So it's as far as this process and the steps are concerned, that's all right. But they do not know exactly what is that ultimate reality from whom everything is emanating, who is the ultimate goal of all processes of knowledge, who is the ultimate reality eternally existing, that they have no idea. They imagine something as the ultimate reality, either something impersonal or something void. Two kinds of explanation are given by these followers of Patanjali. Either they say the ultimate reality is something impersonal, nirakar, or nirvishesha, and shunyavadi. Shunyavada is void, everything is ultimately zero. They say that this material world, things are going on, but ultimately everything will be destroyed. And after destruction, what remains? They say nothing. These voidist philosophers, they say only shunya, nothing is there. So from that shunya, again there will be creation. And this creation itself, from shunya, how can there be something coming out? Because shunya is nothing. So they say that is just imaginary, something is existing, is created. So they say this world is unreal. It's illusion, grand illusion. It doesn't exist. We just imagine that it exists. We imagine it exists. And actually the changes that are taking place are simply the interactions of the illusory energy, which is a partial truth about what is actually happening, the interaction of the modes. But what they fail to understand is that behind this presentation of the material energy or the illusory energy is the Supreme Lord, and it is His energy which is working according to His direction. Maya Dhyakshena Prakritihi Suyate Sacharacharam. Then in the 14th chapter, Krishna describes Sattvam Rajastama iti guna prakriti sambhavaha nibaddanti mahabaho dehe dehinam abhyayam. material nature consists of 8 elements. Bhumirapo nalo vayu kham mano buddhirevacha ahankara iti yamme bhinna prakriti ashtada. Me bhinna prakriti. They are my separated energy, this material energy. And that material energy is first of all manifest as the 8 elements. Now, apart from these 8 elements, when material nature is activated, there is the energy is manifest, material energy is manifest also as the 3 gunas, the 3 modes of material nature. Continuously, those modes are working, interacting and producing changes in the configuration of these 8 elements. This is the perfect explanation given in the Bhagavad Gita and the Vedanta philosophy. Perfect explanation. But these people study some portion, take some observation and come to some conclusion of their own, according to their own theoretical philosophy that they present. So, Patanjali's this Raja Yoga system, imaginary form for meditating within the heart. This is, they don't know that actually the Bhagavatam and the authentic Vedic literature describe meditation on Vishnu, who is seated in the heart as Paramatma, who is actually a expansion of Kshirodakashayi Vishnu, the maintainer Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Eternal Lord, who has a transcendental form. And Lord Kapila, the incarnation of Supreme Lord, describes in the 3rd canto of the Bhagavatam in the Sankhya philosophy, meditation on Vishnu within the heart, who is Paramatma. Paramatma. He is seated in everyone's heart. Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishto matta smritir jnanam apohanam cha. Bhagavad Gita also is explained by Krishna. Krishna only means Krishna's expansion of expansion of expansion is seated in everyone's heart. But Patanjali doesn't describe clearly this object of meditation as the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, as Vishnu, who is the eternal, transcendental person. That he does not describe. Imaginary form. Something imaginary. So, this imaginary form is also taught by the Mayavadi philosophers. Mayavadi philosophers, they also talk of imaginary form. So, this imaginary form is based on the wrong understanding that this material world itself is illusion, is false. The material world has got an illusory aspect, that everything is a presentation of the interactions of the 3 gunas as reality, but it is not reality. Because it's constantly changing, it is not reality. Reality is what remains or what is behind the change. That is the material energy itself, which is working as per the direction of the Supreme Lord Krishna according to his will. So that is reality. That reality is missed out by all these Mayavadis and the philosophers who follow Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, etc. They miss out this reality. So, it is not easy to arrive at the truth while we are in the grip of illusion, while we have this material body, while we are in ignorance, unless we take help of a self-realized bona fide spiritual master coming in parampara, who is himself situated in transcendence and who can properly explain everything and enlighten us beyond matter, know ourselves as spiritual reality, as spirit soul, and Supreme Lord as a Supreme Spirit, and the totality, some total understanding of everything in existence, at least the material existence itself, as a part of the manifestation of the Lord's energies. So all this requires superior guidance. Without that guidance, nobody can speculate or analyze or reason, logic, argument will not work. They've got their limitations. I'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.